Good day to each and everyone. I'm your teacher, JOANA LATORRE, from Bachelor of Elementary Education, Year 1. Now we will discuss about the importance of ecosystem. But before that, let us discuss first what ecosystem is. So when we say ecosystem is a biological community of interacting organisms and their physical environment. Also, ecosystem is an ecological community comprised of biological, physical, and chemical components considered as a unit. So in simple words, ecosystem is an geographic area where plants, animals, and other organisms as well as weather and landscape work together to form a bubble of life. When we say bubble of life, just like a happy life. Okay, so examples of ecosystem are number 1, agrocosystem. It's aquatic ecosystem, coral reef, desert, forest, human ecosystem, littoral zone, marine ecosystem, prairie, and rainforest and others. Okay, so when we say agrocosystem is an cultivated ecosystem generally corresponding to the spatial unit of a farm and whose ecosystem functions are valued by humans in the form of agricultural goods and services. Number 2 is the aquatic ecosystem. When we say aquatic ecosystem, it is an ecosystem in and surrounding a body of water. In contrast to land-based terrestrial ecosystems, aquatic ecosystems contain communities of organisms that are dependent on each other and on their environment. Number 3 is the coral reef. Coral reef is an underwater ecosystem characterized by reef-building corals. So reefs are formed of colonies of coral polyps and held together by calcium carbonate. So most coral reefs are built from stony corals whose polyps cluster in groups. Okay, so number 4 is desert. Desert is an barren area of landscape where little precipitation occurs and consequently living conditions are hostile for plant and animal life. So the lack of vegetation exposes the unprotected surface of the ground to the processes of denudation. Number 5 is the forest. So forest is a dense of growth of trees and underbrush covering a large tract. So a fire destroyed acres of forest. So forest is just like a pine trees and mahogany trees. Number 6 is the human ecosystem. When we say human ecosystem, are human-dominated ecosystem of the Anthropocene era that are viewed as complex cybernetic systems by conceptual models that are increasingly used by ecological anthropologists and other scholars to examine the ecological aspect of human communities in a way that integrates multiple factors as economics, sociopolitical organization, psychological factors, and physical factors related to the environment. Next is the littoral zone. So the littoral zone or near shore is the part of a sea, lake, or river that is close to the shore. So in a coastal environment, the littoral zone extends from the high water mark, which is really inundated, to shoreline areas that are permanently submerged. Number 8 is the marine ecosystem. Marine ecosystems are the largest of the Earth's aquatic ecosystem and exist in the waters that have a highly salt content. So this system contrasts with freshwater ecosystems which have a lower salt content. Number 9 is the prairie. So prairie are ecosystems considered part of the temperate grasslands, savannas, and shrublands biome by ecologists. So based on the similar temperate climates, moderate rainfall, and a composition of grasses, herbs, and shrubs rather than trees as the dominant vegetation type. And lastly, the rainforest. So when we say rainforest, is an area of tall, mostly evergreen trees and a high amount of rainfall. So rainforests are Earth's oldest living ecosystems, with some surviving in their present form for at least 7 million of years. So what are the importance of ecosystem? Number 1, the importance of ecosystem is provides the habitat to wild plants and animals. Also, ecosystem is important because it promotes the various food chains and food webs. And also, it controls essential ecological processes and promotes lives. Number 4, it involved in the recycling of nutrients between biotic and abiotic components. And number 5, it helps in maintaining the usual flow of energy in an ecosystem, including carbon cycle, energy cycle, nitrogen cycle, oxygen cycle, and water cycle. Apart from these importances, the ecosystems also plays an important role in controlling weeds, rotation of crop, management of grasslands, forests, biological surveys, conservation of soil, wildlife, and etc. So, why do we need to protect our ecosystem? We need to protect our ecosystem because healthy ecosystem clean our water, purify our air, maintain our soil, regulate the climate, recycle nutrients, and provide us with food. They provide raw materials and resources for medicines and other purposes. So they are foundation of all civilization and sustain our economies. So if we're not going to protect our ecosystem unravel. The quality of life for all species, including humans, will diminish. So when ecosystems are compromised, the natural goods that they provide, clean air and water, crop pollination, and storm protection, inevitable will decline. So we must protect our ecosystem because ecosystem underpin all humans' life and activities. Thank you.